Good morning, guys. I'm gonna look at some materials with you today. So hopefully you have already found our Clever page and you have found the resources that are there. So I'm on my page. A couple of things I wanted to point out to you. A lot of the assignments are from Newsela. That's that blue icon on the second row there. Several assignments are from Flocabulary. That's that orange icon with the F on the second row there. News Quiz, the link to those videos and quizzes is right there with the calendar on it. And then I have linked the district page for all the NTI info, and that's also where you can find the digital copy of the packets. Down here at the bottom, I am uploading videos. So yesterday I did a read aloud of the luckiest St. Patrick's Day ever, and then I did kind of a walkthrough of some of the NTI resources. So today we're going to look at some of the math for day 5. I know we're only on day 3, but I wanted to go ahead and upload this for you. So I'm going to the instructional work website, clicking on second grade. Here's all of them, and you'll notice that next week's stuff is already up, and the third week will be soon to follow. So I'm going to click on day 5 today, and I'm going to the math option, a little story, and a little math. All right, and I've actually already opened these up over here so that I can look through some of them with you. So these are word problems, and each one is kind of a different, you've got to use some different problem solving for them. So I wanted us to look at a couple of them together, but I want you to remember that when you're solving a word problem, the first thing you have to do is you've got to read it, you've got to read it again, and you need to think about it like a story. What is happening here? And use your imagination, try to visualize what is going on here, and that's going to help you make sense of what you need to do with the numbers. So the first one says, Corey needs to earn $72 to enter a skateboarding competition. She can earn $9 per hour, so that means each hour that she works, she can earn $9 babysitting her little brother. The skateboarding competition is next month. How many hours does she need to babysit to earn the money? So if you think about this, the number 72 and the number 9, think about how are those numbers related to each other? What do they have anything to do with each other in this story problem? So think about that for a second. And hopefully what you're thinking is it's not going to make any sense to add 72 and 9. 72 is the total amount of money that Corey needs to earn. $9 is how much she can earn each hour. So reread that question at the bottom. How many hours does she need to babysit to earn enough money? So I want you to think about some of the repeated addition problems that we've done together. So what I'm looking at is I need to be counting up how many hours Corey is going to need to babysit. And so each hour she's making $9. And her goal is to make $72 altogether. So if I say, okay, well, hour 1, she's making $9. Okay, well, I'm thinking, guys, 9 is really close to 10. It is much easier for me to count by 10s than it is for me to count by 9s, and I know it's much easier for you guys too. So I'm thinking, okay, how many groups of 10 would it take me to get close up to 72? Well, I know that 72 has 7 10s in it. So I'm going to make at least 7 groups of 9. And I know that it's probably going to be more than that. So what I want you to do to solve this problem is think about repeated addition. Okay? So that's the second hour, and I'm probably writing a little too big. I'm going to run out of room here. okay? Now, as you all get into 3rd grade, you're going to know some multiplication, and that's going to be very helpful in this. But remember, when we add repeated and repeated and repeated, that's getting us ready for multiplication. So when I look at this, if these were groups of 10, I would say 10, 20, 30. Well, I'm not nearly up to that 72 that I need yet, so I know I'm going to have to keep going. So far, I've counted up 3 hours. You're going to keep going until you get up to $72 that she's made. Okay? And I'm not going to work out the entire problem for you because I know you can do that. But to figure out just one more step to help you here. So I said that this would be, if they were 10, this would be 30. But I've got to remember, they're not 10. So if I had counted 10, there would have been one more out here. Okay, so that would have been 10, 20, 30. But I know there's not actually 10, there's 9. So I'm going to go back and say, okay, it was actually 29, 28, 27. So right now I'm at $27. If I do another group, so say if that was 10, I could say that was 37. Well, it's actually one less than that, so it's 36. And I'm going to keep going. And the reasons I'm counting by 10 and taking one away each time is because, remember, she's making $9, and also that's a lot quicker for me than going back and counting each dot one by one by one. Okay? Now, if you'd like to go back, if what I'm showing you is confusing you and you feel like I want to try just going back and counting each dot, you're welcome to do that. So, but just remember, $9 per hour, she's trying to get up to $72. Okay? And I'm sorry if this is confusing when you can't see me talking. You guys are doing awesome doing this stuff at home, and just trying to help you as best as I can from not being sitting there right beside you. So your second problem says there's a big sale at the mall. Coats are on sale for $25. Shoes are on sale for $30. The sale is going on all weekend. Chloe buys 2 coats and 3 pairs of shoes. How much money does she spend in all? All right, so looking back at that again, 25 is how much the coats are costing. 30 is how much the shoes are costing. So when I think about this story, Chloe buys 2 coats and 3 pairs of shoes. So when I picture that in my mind, I know she's not just buying 1 coat and 1 pair of shoes, she's buying 2 coats and 3 pairs of shoes. So when I look at the price of a coat, I'm not just going to have one group of 25. There's going to be 2 because she bought 2 coats. So remember that when you're adding up your total, and remember that when you're adding up your total for the shoes as well, that there's not just 1 pair of shoes, but go back and look in that problem. How many pairs of shoes are there? Okay? All right, and I think you all will do okay with that one. Make sure you use some strategies there. All right, I'm going to go back here and pull up the second sheet of problems. In this one, guys, you're, again, going to want to use that repeated addition. So Tanika makes 5 stacks of crepes, and if you don't know what a crepe is like a very thin pancake, which is not, you don't really have to know what a crepe is for this word problem, but just to help you visualize that, they're talking about little stacks of thin pancakes. So she has 5 stacks of crepes. Some of the crepes have apple filling, and some of them have mushroom filling. I have a feeling I know which ones you all would want to eat. Each stack has 6 crepes in it. Tanika and her sister eat 2 crepes each. How many crepes are left? Okay, what I want you to do when you're solving this problem, this is a 2-step word problem. This is tricky stuff. I want you first to read to this part that I'm drawing a line at, okay? And you need to figure out how many crepes there are just from the information you get before the blue line I drew. Then, after you've figured out how many crepes there are altogether, then go back and read this next part and figure out how many are left, okay? There's 2 steps, and I'm helping you out here by dividing step 1 and then step 2, all right? Use this space here to show your work. Now, reading this again, Tanika makes 5 stacks of crepes. Some crepes have apple filling, some of the crepes have mushroom filling. Each stack contains 6 crepes. Guys, it makes no sense for me to add 5 plus 6 here. No sense at all. 5 is the number of stacks there are. 6 is how many crepes are in each stack. So think about what you need to do to figure out how many crepes there are. Okay? All right. Remember, figure out that first part, stop at the blue line, then go on and figure out the next part. Okay? All right, number 4. Noel and his family are going to spend the day in New York City. He and his dad are looking for parking. Lot 1 charges $30 for the first 2 hours and $8 for an hour for each additional hour. Lot 2 charges $40 for the first 2 hours and $5 for each additional hour. Noel and his father need to park for 6 hours. Which lot should they choose? All right. So you're going to want to read that one again. And really, where they're going is not important. They're going somewhere, they're looking for a parking spot, and they have these 2 lots. So imagine you're driving around with your family. You can see the people outside holding up signs telling how much it is to park there. And whoever's driving your car is trying to figure out where is the cheapest place for us to park our car. And that's what we're trying to figure out here. So lot 1 is, as soon as you drive in, it's $30 for the first 2 hours. So if I was figuring up lot 1, okay, they're going to be there for 6 hours. So lot 1, I know, is going to be at least 30 plus 30. Okay, that's hour 1 and hour 2. And then $8 for each hour after that. So there's hour 1, hour 2. Here's hour 3 is $8. Hour 4 is $8. Hour 5 is $8. Hour 6 is $8. So when I add up this total, that's going to tell me how much lot 1 is going to cost. Okay? But just finding the total of lot 1 doesn't solve my problem. Remember, they have choices. They're also looking at lot 2, which is $40 for the first 2 hours, and then $5 for each hour after that. So just like I did the first 2 hours here, and then the other 4 hours here, you need to do the same thing for lot 2. Okay? And remember, just figuring out that total doesn't solve your problem. You need to answer the question, which lot should they choose? Okay? These are tough problems, guys, but read through them carefully. Use the tips that I've given you. Hopefully those are helpful. And do your very, very best to solve those. You guys are very smart. You're very good at this kind of thing. So do your very best here. Let me know if you need help, and I will get back in touch with you all soon.